it's a beautiful night for it, hey? This is great. Nice and snowy and beautiful. We're gonna put on a skit for you tonight, and most of the time when we hear skits about the Christmas story, we hear a lot about the angels and shepherds and Mary and Joseph, but tonight we're gonna focus on a little bit of a different part of that story. Who's heard of the 3 wise men before? Yeah, cool. We're gonna be focusing on their side of the story tonight, so we're excited for you to hear this. Most of all, we're excited for you to experience God's love tonight, and we pray that you do. We pray that you see His presence and His Spirit here, and we hope you enjoy the show. It so happened late one night, a star appeared, and at its sight, some magi, professors from somewhere in Persia, looked and overcame inertia.
For these were wise men, not some dopes, and without the aid of telescopes, they followed the star across desert places, making stops at each oasis.
Till they came up to a palace, wherein dwelt a king with malice. Herod by name, and his effrontery was well known throughout the country.
But these magi, straight from college, were without this common knowledge when they asked a simple thing of this nasty, two-faced king.
Could you give us some direction? We need a slight course correction.
For we're looking for a child.
And this sounds really wild.
Who was born King of the Jews?
To Herod, this was not good news.
Herod, help us if you can. We've double parked our caravan.
Herod then called up his sages, and after they had turned some pages of manuscripts printed in Elite and Pica, they found a verse by prophet Micah. It said,
"If you seek the real ruler, go to Bethlehem in Judah, and in that unpretentious place you'll find the child who grants you grace."
Herod put on his face of glee and called the wise men privately into his rec room for a chat to question them of this and that.
He asked what time the star shone out. He was the king, he had the clout. So these wise men were quick to tell. The king replied,
Oh, that's really swell. Go, search every motel room, and when you find him, come back soon, so I can worship him with you. Hooray, hurrah, and hoop-de-doo.
This, of course, was all a show, for Herod plotted, don't you know, to kill this king whom God had sent, who would fulfill the covenant, that through God's Son we'd be set free, to live new life eternally.
The wise men left, they didn't tarry. Each jumped upon his dromedary, and followed the bright star that showed them to a house, the child's abode.
On that door they did some rapping. Peeked inside, the child was napping. Safe in Mary's arms he lay, as wise men bowed their heads to pray.
Then the wise men went quite crazy, woke the child, now upsy-daisy. Tears of joy flowed from their eyes, for in the flesh was God's surprise.
Why?
You ask?
These adulations.
This child was born to save the nations.
That is why the wise men bowed and worshiped, singing praises loud.
Hallelujah!
Then, without thought for expenses, they gave him gold and frankincenses. The wise men knew what they had found,
The baby king whom God had crowned. And so they went to sleep that evening, content and happy, still believing that back to Herod they would travel.
And the mystery unravel of where the child was now located, this big boy that Herod hated.
Then, upon their pillows nesting, they had a dream that spoiled their resting. In this nightmare, oh so vivid, they saw old Herod green and livid at the thought that this child's mission was to give him some competition.
When they rose, they sent a scout to find a more circuitous route that would take them home again, avoiding Herod and his men.
Now this story's at its ending. Wise men to the east are wending, over sands of deserts curious, knowing that King Herod's furious.
I'm furious!
And now the wise men know the way, the truth, the life, so they can say,
Come, follow God's bright shining star.
Throw off your fear of death's dark night.
Come and believe God's dearest Son,
Who over death the
has
victory won.
So if you're searching for a star to light your way, 'cause you feel far away from God and gripped by fear, because you feel no one is near.
To pull you out of sin's dark night, come, hear these words. Christ is the light. The light was born in Bethlehem.
He lived, he died, he rose again, and reigns on high in heaven above, and shines the light that shows God's love to every nation, every race, throughout all time, across all space.
This new wisdom, for God be praised.
And we shall thank him all our days.
showing us that God's heavenly joy, heavenly glory,
And the saving good news story.
So go, read, highlight, and review. It's all in Matthew chapter 2 of how the wise men saw the face.
The Prince of Peace, love, joy, and grace.
And if you would all please join us in singing Silent Night on this beautiful snowy night, that would be great. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Thank you all.